Croton, and I was asked to participate in this exhibit, No More War, and I'm thrilled to be part of the group of artists who represent the surrounding communities here. And I have two paintings I did specifically for this exhibit that reflect my concern and anxiety about the possibility of a war in the Middle East, and very specifically a war with Iraq. I think it would be a big mistake to get involved in a war with Iraq. I don't think that the President of the United States has sufficiently justified the involvement of the United States, and I'm very concerned about the very high casualties that would result from a war with Iraq. So I have these two paintings that I did that are in the exhibit that express my feelings. I'd just like to read to you part of the statement that I put together that describes my work in the exhibit. I'm very interested in a French philosopher by the name of Herbert Marcuse, and he once said, "The artist can't change the world, but they might change the consciousness of people who might change the world." And even though I'm not really sure how people will react to my paintings in the exhibit, I'm hoping that as people look at the work and are affected by it, in turn they'll influence and affect the thinking of other people by their comments and feelings and remarks based on the work, and that the more people that see my work and see the work in this exhibit by the other terrific artists that have work displayed, that it'll influence the thinking and awareness and consciousness of people when it comes to the issues of war and the possible death and destruction and misery that can be created by it. Also, personally, I have always opposed the tragedy of war, the destruction of all the most precious things in life. I hope my paintings in some way empower others with more awareness, more passion, and more discriminating understanding of the petrifaction caused by war. I believe artists have a responsibility to promote an ongoing public dialogue about the things we care about the most. Let's keep our questioning alive and provoke others to have questions. The subversive effect of art truly is critical. Subvert the taken for granted. Defamiliarize the hype. Help people to crack the codes and emancipate themselves to look at things as if they could be otherwise and could be better. In closing, let me also just say that I deeply believe that art lifts our senses, challenges our intellects, thwarts apathy, and sometimes must disturb our sense of comfort and security. We as individuals are participants in history, not passive victims.
My name is Nick Modern. I live here in Peekskill, and I was asked by Valerie Koresh to make a piece of artwork for this show. I don't consider myself an artist, but I have done from time to time different things that can be used symbolically to help people get involved or to think about what's going on. This particular thing that I've done here is the nose of a B-52 bomber. I looked in the various websites to get a picture of this because I feel that the B-52 symbolizes global use of a death machine to try to enforce things that some people think are in the interest of this country. And I use the symbols of these women on the nose of this because this goes back into World War II, into World War I, and really the use of women to encourage flyers, the use of sex to in some way maybe legitimize, to make acceptable certain kind of behaviors, and again a morale thing for men. In this case, and in the case of all wars, women possibly are the ones who have the most suffering, both during the war as they try to save their children and themselves, after the war, dealing with the fragments of males who return from those wars And so it's a complex kind of imagery in a lot of ways, but yet very simple and sad. And I felt that going into this particular war, it symbolized also a kind of frivolity in this country, kind of escapism, even trying to ignore what's going on and what will go on. So the blackness of this particular airplane, both in reality and this symbol of it, I think is very much on the minds of people, even though they would choose to try to ignore it. And I thought that this show, and I do think this show, does bring out the emotional content of war in a very powerful way to people. I think it's been very much ignored by the general press because of that. And so I'm very happy that Valerie is going to put something on the internet about this show, because I think art has a way of getting at the heart of people in a way that the written spoken word really can't do. So I very much appreciate and honored to be part of the show.
First thing, I am an artist and I work with different materials. Most of the time I work with clay. This piece, actually, I made it in 1992. If people remember, that was the Persian Gulf War. And I made this piece, which is apparently playful, but it's not, portraying how I see war is taking place. For example, you see all these guys. Nobody has a head actually in this construction. These people have like pennies symbolizing money. This has like a diamond, and it's on the table. And then these are like exchanging money. And then these guys ended up with weapons symbolized by screws as the weapons, and screws in the head. Mm. And if you look around, maybe move it around. Like, all these things are going on, people are falling down. Some people actually have to have heads. And also, as you see, everything is connected, from the weapons to the screwing through the head of somebody, to another screw going through somebody's head, through actual soldiers with weapons. Everything is connected in this big machine. This is a cocktail table, and people are exchanging goods and deals. And on the top of this pyramid is this TV viewer who is hooked to the TV. And on the antenna is this person being crucified, like killed by the TV, meaning that most of us, all we see from this war machine, if we don't go actually to war, is we'll see the war in TV and loses complete reality, and we don't see that it's everything related, through the money that goes into the war, to the weapons that were built, to the victims, that everything is just becomes like something to see in TV.